Accessory after the fact. Accessory after the fact is an individual who aids a felon in avoiding capture by police or conviction after the commission of a felony. Okay? What does that exactly mean? Let's break it down a little further. So the defendant in this case must give aid to another person who is a felon, and this felon must have just committed the felony, and the defendant in this case, the accessory after the fact, must have the intent to help this felon avoid capture by the police or conviction of that felony. So if I go down here, I broke it down very carefully. The mens rea, the criminal intent, and the actus reus, the criminal act of this crime. So the key thing, like I said, for the mens rea is that the defendant must have had the intent, must have had the knowledge that the individual committed a felony, that a felony has in fact been committed, and the individual they're aiding committed that act. And the actus reus, the criminal act in this crime that the defendant must commit to be culpable for this crime, is basically a situation where the individual gave aid, helped the felon to avoid the consequences of their actions, captured by the police and conviction. So, let me give a straightforward example. Let's just pretend that I want to help my friend. My friend comes to my door and tells me that I just robbed the bank. I look at my phone, I see CNN and Fox News saying that, yep, this guy, looking for my friend's face is on the news. This guy is our suspect. He just committed the robbery, and we're looking for him. Therefore, I have the knowledge. I know that my friend committed this felony. And he's asking to hide out in my place to avoid arrest. And I say, yeah, buddy, come inside of my apartment, hide out here for a few days, and then you can go ahead and take the train to Mexico. Okay? Just an example, a silly example, but this is an example. I'll go down for accessory after the fact. Why would I? I will go down for this crime because not only did I give aid to a felon, the felon being my friend, okay, I know that he committed the crime because, again, I saw the news and he told me he committed the felony. Therefore, he just committed the crime of a felony and a crime of robbery, the felony in this case, and I'm helping him avoid capture by the police and or conviction after the commission of that felony because, again, he's hiding out of my place. So I satisfy the mens rea requirement because I know the felony was committed by my friend, the felon, and I'm doing the criminal act because I gave aid to my felony buddy, to my felon, by helping him avoid consequences of his actions by apprehension by the police and conviction, by hiding out of my place in our plan to help him go to Mexico to hide out for a long period of time just until things calm down. Therefore, that is accessory after the fact. Remember, there must be, up here, there must be a defendant and there must be the felon. I'll put F for felon. Two characters are involved in this crime. The defendant is the accessory after the fact because he's helping out the felon after the crime has been committed. That's why it's after the fact. And the felon in this case is the individual who committed the felony. And after the commission of that felony, he comes to the defendant. The defendant knows the crime has been committed by the felon, and the defendant gives help, aid, assistance to that person by helping him avoid apprehension by the police or conviction.